Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the Genesis G80. Before we get into this video, as always, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 375 horsepower and then 391 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So when it comes to style, the G80 is a very good looking car. You got the Genesis logo that looks very similar to the Bentley logo there on the hood. Really cool headlight design, and then look at the coloration on the grille as well. And I mean, seriously, this car does make a statement. As I've been driving this around, I've gotten a lot of people coming up and not knowing what this is, because Genesis is still kind of like newer on the market, and then, you know, thinking this is a much more expensive car than it actually is. Now, our tire wheel setup is 245 by 40 by 20 in the front, and then 275 by 35 by 20 in the rear. Taking a look at the wheels themselves, really cool with the cuts there in the spoke. And then you can see the darker brake caliper. And then I like the turn signal indicator there on the side. I think that's another cool part of it. And then notice the mirrors are body painted. You've got some kind of like silver trim. But yeah, look at this. Very, very long car again, makes a statement. And this leads us to the key fob. We've got the Genesis logo. On this side we have our lock and unlock opening for the trunk. And then we also have the self-park feature and the remote start as well. But we'll pop open the trunk. This kind of has a cool feel to it overall. Now this is a bigger sedan, so we've got a pretty decent sized trunk here in the rear. Plenty of storage space for everything that you would want to do with it. And when you're all done, just press that and that'll lower the lid back down. Pretty cool with the taillight design. Again, they're stacked on top of each other, just like the headlights. Got your 4-wheel drive 3.5T badge, of course. That's the rest of the rear. And this leads us inside. So we've got this nice trim here at the top. I like that little piece here in the center. See more of that soft touch down below. And then here are the seats, perforated all down the center portion. And then popping in, legroom back here, it's good. Got a little storage pocket. We've got our own climate zone here in the rear. Got some cup holders here, heated seats. We've got that for the sunshade. And then more storage here. Nice trim on the top with it. And yeah, there is a sunshade here in the back. You also have this kind of like premium headliner. Notice even the sunroof has premium trim on it, or the sunshade for the sunroof, I mean. And this now leads us up front. So again, you've got that nice trim all over. Pretty cool design with all of it. All of our window controls here with our mirror adjustments. And you guys can see the memory seat function. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then here's the front seat. Just trim all over. All of our adjustments on the side with our massage function too. And then you'll see we've got nice trim on the dash here, as always. Now take a look at the steering wheel. You guys can see nice trim all around with the gray perforated here in the center section. Paddle shifters there in the back. We've got a bunch of practical controls in the front, including our voice command controls, phone controls. Got our adaptive cruise control here with our lane centering. Regular stalks here on the back. And then we do have a full digital gauge cluster here in the center, which I think the animation on it is pretty cool looking, if you ask me. But, you know, as always, you can change, you know, what it shows information-wise. But you guys will also notice the average fuel economy I've been getting, so 27 miles per gallon. Not too bad. So I've got this nice 360 camera system. You can see trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel. Good resolution. It's got this cool exterior shot as well, so I like all of that. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, quick response time with the screen. Everything's pretty easy to use, and so yeah, I think they did a good job. And like I said, it's all one connected unit, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Heads-up display, and again, all the nice trim all across the dash there. See, comes across more, and look at the vent design too. It's pretty cool. Physical buttons here for the radio, climate. I mean, some of this is screen technically. You do have heated and cooled seats. Again, the massaging function too. It also has the perfume function, if I remember right. There's so many random features with these, but got storage here. The cup holders. That's for the infotainment system. This is for the transmission. Don't mix them up. We've got stuff like our drive mode select here, which I'll be honest, I never use drive modes when I drive Genesis cars. I just keep it in comfort the whole time. So I guess I technically use it, but I don't change the drive mode, I should say. Phone charging pad. Then we got the center console. Again, nice trim here. Glove box is nice. Nice trim all over that. Regular rearview mirror, and then again, premium headliner and a big sunroof. So here's our window sticker for this G80. You guys can see this is a Sport Prestige, so pretty loaded up. And sorry, that's kind of hard to see because it's on an angle, but 78,930. Yeah, there's no sense, but 78,930 is total MSRP. Let's drive it. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Over the hood, both the mirrors, the rest of the rear. It's pretty good for a sedan. Setting off in the G80. It's a nice car. So Genesis really does a really good job with luxury. This car's got comfortable suspension. It's quiet. And I mean, it has more road noise than, like, let's say an S-Class, for example. But I mean, this is half the price of an S-Class. But yeah, it does a really good job, and the seats are comfortable. Massage function's nice. You have the cooled seat function on in the summer. Like, yeah, that's also nice. I guess it's technically fall now. But either way, it's a nice drive. It's a nice ride. And I really do want to emphasize just the smooth feel that this has. It really does help out quite a bit. And I think another part that I really like is just the visual you get here as a driver. They did a really good job with the design. A lot of modern cars are just ugly with the design. Now this does have a giant tablet, but at least they kind of curve the dash a little bit, so the tablet's recessed there a bit. It's still a giant tablet, but I don't know, it's probably one of the nicer iterations I've seen in terms of how this is integrated into the dash. And you know, aside from that, again, it's a nice ride. And I love how it corners and everything. It just does everything well. The only thing that I think, and you guys with the acceleration, the only thing I think is a little bit of downside is not the power, just like how this powertrain feels. It's a V6. V6s aren't bad, but my take, inline sixes make more sense for luxury cars. Now that I've driven a lot of different engine types and everything, I think inline six just kind of makes more sense. It's a smoother powertrain. Inline powertrains in general, four cylinders are kind of rough, but six cylinder inline, that's where it's at. That is definitely where it's at. But yeah, basically what the G80 gives you is really nice luxury car driving experience, nice luxury car interior, nice touch points. Like, everything feels, you know, premium in here. And it's, you know, this is a pricey car, but it's a lot less expensive than other luxury cars. You don't, there's nothing really competes against this. You don't really see this at this price point, and you don't really see other automakers pursuing this. I mean, it's a small market. It's definitely a niche market, so that is something that ought to be mentioned. But either way, it's still nice that, you know, I don't know, I think about, there's a lot of people that are retiring right now. And I think about those people that, you know, they don't necessarily want to spend every last bit of their retirement and, well, acceleration, interruption. It's not bad, it's just not smooth because it's a V6. Oh, I forgot this is a 60 road. We can keep going. Anyways, but you know, they want like a luxury car, but they don't want to spend over $100,000, right? So I know I could see this as being just you want luxury, you want to spend the least amount possible, but you don't want to concede. And that's the thing, you don't really have to concede much to this car. It's a little bit noisier than something like an S-Class, like I said. The engine's a little bit less refined, but it drives well enough. It's like, I'd rather have one of these than an S-Class and, you know, have $70,000 left in the bank too. So let me know what you think.